Did you know that 97% of men are completely clueless about what actually triggers attraction in women? They're out there buying flowers, being nice guys, and wondering why they keep getting friend-zoned while the so-called bad boys get all the attention. Here's the brutal truth that nobody wants to tell you. Everything you've been taught about attraction is a lie. Society has fed you blue pill fantasies about being a gentleman and treating women like princesses. But what if I told you that Harvard scientists have cracked the code on what women's brains are actually hardwired to respond to? There are exactly 5 brain chemicals that control every woman's attraction triggers. These aren't opinions or theories. This is cold, hard neuroscience. And once you understand how to activate these chemicals, you'll never look at dating the same way again. The men who know this science are playing a completely different game, while everyone else is stuck wondering why nothing they do works. Look, I'm not here to give you feel-good advice or tell you what you want to hear. What I'm about to share comes directly from peer-reviewed research from Harvard, Stanford, and other top universities. This isn't pickup artist theory. This is hard science. The reason most men fail with women isn't because they're not good enough. It's because they're operating on completely false assumptions about how female attraction actually works. They think being logical, predictable, and accommodating will win women over. But here's the red pill truth. Women's brains are wired completely differently than men's. While you're focused on looks and status, her brain is running a complex chemical analysis that determines whether you're genetically worth her time. These 5 chemicals I'm about to reveal control everything. Whether she feels butterflies when she sees you, whether she thinks about you when you're not around, and whether she sees you as boyfriend material or just another nice guy she'll never sleep with. This knowledge will separate you from the 90% of men who will never understand why they keep striking out, despite doing everything they think they're supposed to do. Here's what the mainstream dating advice won't tell you. Men and women's brains process attraction through completely different mechanisms. A man can look at a woman and instantly know if he's attracted. It's visual, it's immediate, it's simple. But female attraction? It's a complex neurochemical process that most men never even realize is happening. Her brain is constantly evaluating you on multiple levels: genetic fitness, social dominance, emotional stability, and reproductive value. And this evaluation happens through specific brain chemicals that either make her drawn to you or completely turned off. The alpha males who seem to effortlessly attract women aren't just lucky. They're unconsciously triggering these chemical responses. They understand that attraction isn't negotiated. It isn't earned through good behavior, and it definitely isn't logical. What I'm about to show you is the biological programming that governs every woman's attraction patterns. This is the difference between being the guy she settles for and being the guy she can't resist. Before we dive into these game-changing insights that will completely transform how you understand women, I need you to do something. If you're tired of being confused about female attraction and you want to understand the real science behind what makes women choose one man over another, smash that like button right now and hit subscribe, because every single week I'm breaking down the red pill truths that society doesn't want you to know. The scientific secrets that separate the men who get chosen from the men who get used. Don't let this knowledge slip away. Subscribe now so you never miss these insights that could change your entire dating life. Now, let's get into the 5 brain chemicals that control everything. The first chemical that controls female attraction is dopamine. And this is where most nice guys completely destroy their chances without even knowing it. Dopamine is the brain's reward chemical. It's what makes her feel excited, anticipatory, and craving more. But here's the key. Dopamine isn't triggered by consistency or predictability. It's triggered by uncertainty and variable rewards. Think about it like a slot machine. You don't get excited pulling the lever when you know exactly what's going to happen every time. The excitement comes from not knowing. Will this be the big win or not? Most men do the exact opposite. They text her at the same time every day. They're always available. They're completely predictable. They think being reliable equals being attractive. Wrong. You're killing her dopamine response. The men who naturally attract women understand intermittent reinforcement. They're not always available. Their attention isn't guaranteed. Sometimes they're warm. Sometimes they're distant. This creates a dopamine cycle that literally makes her addicted to trying to figure you out. Women will tell you they want consistency, but their brains crave the uncertainty. This is why the bad boy who doesn't text back for 2 days gets more attraction than the nice guy who replies within 5 minutes every single time. The second chemical is oxytocin, the bonding hormone. And this is where most men make a critical mistake. They think oxytocin means being sweet and romantic. Dead wrong. Oxytocin is released through physical touch, eye contact, and shared intense experiences. But here's the red pill truth. It's not about quantity. It's about the context of dominance and submission. When a woman feels protected by a strong man, when she feels his confidence through his touch, when she experiences his leadership, that's when oxytocin floods her system. It's not about being gentle and caring like society tells you. It's about being the man she can surrender to. Think about it. Oxytocin is the same hormone released during childbirth and breastfeeding. It's about creating a bond where she feels safe to be vulnerable. But vulnerability only happens when she perceives you as stronger than her, not when you're putting her on a pedestal. The beta males try to create bonding through emotional availability and deep conversations. But real oxytocin bonding happens when she feels your masculine presence, when you maintain strong eye contact that doesn't waver, when your touch is confident and intentional. This is why women bond more deeply with men who lead them, who make decisions, who create that feeling of being protected and guided. Her brain is literally designed to bond with strength, not weakness. The third chemical is norepinephrine, and this one separates the men she gets excited about from the ones who bore her to death. Norepinephrine is your fight-or-flight chemical. It's what creates that rush of excitement, that heart-pounding feeling she gets around certain men. But here's what most guys don't understand. Comfort kills attraction. When you're too safe, too predictable, too accommodating, her norepinephrine levels flatline. She feels calm around you, sure, but calm doesn't make her want to rip your clothes off. Calm makes her see you as a friend. The men who trigger norepinephrine understand that women need emotional stimulation. They create tension. They challenge her. They're not afraid to disagree with her or call her out on her behavior. They push boundaries and create experiences that spike her nervous system. This is why women are drawn to men who have an edge, who are slightly unpredictable, who create that feeling of excitement and slight nervousness. Her brain interprets this arousal as attraction. Nice guys avoid conflict and try to keep everything smooth and comfortable. But comfortable is the enemy of chemistry. You need to create enough challenge and unpredictability to keep her norepinephrine flowing. Adventure dates, playful teasing, being willing to walk away, creating sexual tension. These all trigger the excitement response that her brain craves. Without norepinephrine, you're just another boring guy she'll never think about twice. If this is completely changing how you think about attraction, and you're starting to understand why your nice guy approach has been failing, make sure you've smashed that like button. This is the kind of red pill knowledge that most men will never learn because society keeps feeding them blue pill lies. And if you haven't subscribed yet, do it now. I'm dropping scientific truths about female psychology every single week that will completely transform your success with women. Don't be the guy who watches this video, learns these secrets, and then forgets to subscribe and misses out on the advanced strategies I share. We're just getting started. The next 2 chemicals are going to blow your mind even more. The fourth chemical is serotonin, and this is directly connected to why confidence is the ultimate aphrodisiac, but not the fake confidence most men try to display. Serotonin is tied to your social status and dominance hierarchy. When your serotonin levels are high, you naturally display the behaviors that women's brains are programmed to find irresistible. You move slower, you speak with authority, you take up space, and you don't seek validation from anyone. Here's the brutal truth. Women can smell desperation and low status from a mile away. When your serotonin is low, you display beta behaviors without even realizing it. You laugh too loud at her jokes. You agree with everything she says. You constantly seek her approval. These are biological markers of low social value. The alpha males who naturally attract women have consistently high serotonin levels. They don't chase women because they know their own worth. They lead conversations instead of following her lead. They make decisions without asking for permission. They're comfortable with silence and don't feel the need to fill every gap in conversation. This isn't about being arrogant or treating women badly. It's about understanding that attraction flows upward in the dominance hierarchy. She's biologically programmed to be attracted to men who display higher social value than her. When you boost your serotonin through genuine achievement, leadership, and social dominance, you don't have to fake confidence. It radiates naturally from your behavior and body language. The fifth and final chemical is phenylethylamine, PA. And this is the one that creates that addictive, can't stop thinking about you feeling that separates the men she obsesses over from the one she forgets. PEA is literally called the love drug because it's the same chemical found in chocolate and released during intense romantic experiences. But here's what most men don't understand. PEA is triggered by novelty and excitement, not by being a reliable, predictable boyfriend. This chemical is why women fall hardest for men who keep them guessing, who introduce new experiences, who constantly evolve and grow. PEA levels spike during new and thrilling encounters, which is why the honeymoon phase feels so intense and why long-term relationships often lose their spark. Beta males think they need to be consistent and stable to keep a woman. But consistency is PEA's biggest enemy. When you become routine, when she can predict your every move, when there's no mystery left, her PEA levels crash and she starts looking elsewhere for that chemical high. The men who master this understand that they need to constantly introduce novelty. New places, new experiences, personal growth, maintaining some mystery about yourself. They don't reveal everything about themselves in the first month because they understand that mystery and discovery fuel PEA production. This is why women often lose interest in relationships that become too comfortable and predictable. Their brains literally stop producing the chemicals that create romantic obsession. Without PEA, you become just another person in her life instead of the man she can't stop thinking about. Now here's where it gets really interesting. These 5 chemicals don't work in isolation. They create a powerful cocktail effect that either makes you irresistible or completely forgettable. The men who naturally attract women aren't just triggering one chemical. They're creating a perfect storm of all 5. They're unpredictable enough to spike her dopamine, dominant enough to flood her with oxytocin, challenging enough to keep her norepinephrine flowing, confident enough to maintain high serotonin, and exciting enough to keep her PEA levels through the roof. But here's the critical part most men miss. Timing and sequence matter. You can't just randomly trigger these chemicals and expect results. There's a specific order and balance that creates maximum attraction. Too much dopamine without oxytocin, and she'll see you as exciting but unreliable. Too much oxytocin without norepinephrine, and you become the boring boyfriend. High serotonin without PEA, and you're respected but not desired. The alpha males who seem to effortlessly attract women have unconsciously mastered this chemical cocktail. They understand that female attraction is a complex system that requires multiple triggers working in harmony. Every woman is different, but these chemical patterns are universal. Once you understand how to orchestrate all 5 chemicals, you're playing a completely different game than the men who are still trying to win women over with logic and nice guy behavior. Alright, so now you know the science. But knowledge without action is worthless. Here's your step-by-step blueprint for implementing these chemical triggers in real life. First, stop being so damn available. Your phone buzzing with her text doesn't mean you need to respond immediately. Create dopamine spikes through unpredictable communication patterns. Sometimes respond quickly, sometimes wait hours, sometimes don't respond at all if the conversation isn't adding value. Second, lead every interaction. Don't ask, "What do you want to do?" Decide and invite her along. This triggers both oxytocin through your leadership and serotonin through displaying higher status. Make the plans. Choose the restaurant. Lead the conversation topics. Third, maintain some edge. Don't agree with everything she says just to keep the peace. Challenge her opinions respectfully. Call out behavior you don't like. and be willing to walk away if she's not meeting your standards. This keeps her norepinephrine elevated and prevents you from becoming just another yes man. Fourth, never stop growing. The moment you become complacent is the moment her PEA levels crash. Keep pursuing your goals, developing new skills, maintaining your own life and interests. She should feel like she's constantly discovering new layers of who you are. Here's what you absolutely cannot do. Don't use this knowledge to manipulate or hurt women. These are natural biological responses, not weapons. The goal is authentic attraction based on you becoming the best version of yourself, not fake tactics to trick anyone. The men who get this wrong try to manufacture these responses artificially. That always backfires because women have incredible intuition for detecting fake behavior. Let me give you a real example of how this works. I know a guy who used to be the classic nice guy, always texting back immediately, buying flowers for every occasion, never disagreeing with anything his date said. He was triggering 0 of these chemicals and getting friend-zoned constantly. After learning this science, everything changed. Instead of being available 24/7, he started responding when it was convenient for him, dopamine. Instead of asking what she wanted to do, he started making plans and leading, oxytocin and serotonin. Instead of agreeing with everything, he started playfully challenging her viewpoints, norepinephrine. And instead of revealing his entire life story on the first date, he maintained some mystery while continuously working on himself, PEA. The difference was night and day. Women who used to see him as just a friend suddenly started initiating contact, asking when they'd see him again, and showing genuine romantic interest. Another example. Think about the last time you saw a woman completely obsessed with a guy who seemed to treat her poorly. She wasn't attracted to the poor treatment. She was addicted to the chemical cocktail he was unconsciously creating through his unpredictable behavior and emotional unavailability. The difference is you're going to create these same chemical responses while actually being a high-value man worth her time. Let me break this down into one simple truth that will change everything for you. Female attraction isn't about being nice. It's about being chemically irresistible. Dopamine through unpredictability. Oxytocin through confident leadership. Norepinephrine through creating excitement and challenge. Serotonin through unshakable confidence and high-status behavior. PEA through constant growth and maintaining mystery. Master these 5 chemicals, and you'll never wonder why some men effortlessly attract women while others get stuck in the friend zone. This isn't about becoming someone you're not. It's about understanding the biological programming that governs attraction and aligning your behavior with what actually works. Here's your golden rule. Stop trying to convince women to like you through logic and start triggering the chemical responses their brains are hardwired to find irresistible. Everything else is just noise. If you want to completely master the science of attraction and never get friend-zoned again, you need to subscribe to this channel right now. I'm not just talking about hitting the subscribe button. I'm talking about committing to learning the red pill truths that will transform your entire dating life. Every single week, I break down the psychology and biology behind what makes women choose one man over another. The advanced strategies, the mindset shifts, the real-world applications that most men will never learn because they're too busy listening to feel-good advice that doesn't work. Here's what I want you to do right now. Comment below and tell me which of these 5 chemicals you've been completely ignoring in your dating life. Are you the dopamine killer who's always available? The guy with no norepinephrine creating boring, safe interactions? Be honest. And if you want to see me break down the dark psychology of why women stay with toxic men and how you can create that same chemical addiction while actually being worth their time, that's exactly what next week's video is about. Don't be the guy who learns this information and then forgets to stay connected. Subscribe now.